Hi, I'm Chase Weaver,
And I'm Thomas Weitzel.
and this is the Objective Perspective. And new voice, new person, Thomas here.
Yes.
Joe left me to go spring break at High in Colorado and not ski. All of his friends are going skiing, and I don't think he's skiing.
Why?
I have
Skiing is the greatest pursuit that a Caucasian person.
and he's not snowboarding either. So he's not doing anything on the mountain. I think it's expensive, is what he said, which is a fair.
No, that is fair.
That's a fair argument.
Going
He's
skiing
poor as hell right now.
Yeah, going skiing is very expensive.
So I think he's just going to get high and drink, is what he told me, and he's going to bring his 3DS and sit in a hot tub for a week. And I said, that sounds pretty all right, to be honest.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm going to just drag his name through the mud by saying he's going to get high and like, drink, and then also put on 3DS, but, like, no one else is going to listen to this. It's fine.
Exactly. No government agencies are listening at all.
I mean, they're always listening, but, like, they don't care. It's in Colorado, which
Yeah,
is totally fine.
Colorado is a wilderness.
No one lives there.
It's just a bad land. That's why there's no laws, there's no rules.
Yeah, it's the Badlands, the Wildlands.
Ghost Recon.
Ghost Recon. You want to stop it? You want to talk about Ghost Recon? Let's just start with Ghost Recon. Let's just go all in.
You want to start with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've heard just that game's bad. Like, that's what I've heard from everyone, including myself, when I played it.
And honestly, that's what I've been hearing from people every time I told them I bought it. Like, every person I told I bought it, the first thing they said was, why? And I was like, I think
It's a heck of a start.
it's a pretty good game.
Okay.
Will I defend it as a great game, or like a genre-defining game, or like the game to end all games? No. It's just, I have fun with it. I think it does a lot of things well. I think there are definitely some big problems with it. I'm not going to pretend like it's a perfect game.
So like, if we're sitting here, like, let's talk Ghost Recon. Like, let's sort out, like, what is this game? Because I'm aware it's a...
It is a tactical.
Is it
get
tactical?
the buzzword in there.
Is it even like let's not throw a buzzword.
It is an open world action stealth game.
Gotcha. But like when we played it, which was a good time, I have to admit. But like I have a good time playing any game with friends.
Oh yeah, playing with friends makes anything.
That game seemed like big and long, and other dick euphemisms that like I wouldn't enjoy. In that game, like I felt like it was like all the mission structure before he fought the end guy was boring. Finding weapons was boring. All the mission variety was like the same. Just go here, hack a document, and leave.
I will say a lot of the missions pretty much follow that perspective. Like I went to a totally new region that I hadn't played in the closed beta, open beta, and my missions were like, go blow up the drug submarine. Go blow up another drug submarine.
Oh, sweet.
Go hack the computer.
Was there a third drug submarine?
There was not a third drug submarine. Sweet. They kept it to 2.
This is video games. It's 3 things, max and minimum.
So again, like I said, it has problems.
Yeah.
But personally, I think the layout of all the bases and whatnot is interesting as far as like from a perspective of when you're trying to stealth it and when you're not. Like every base has its own unique like factors to it, its own unique little places you can get in, get out. One of them had like a storm drain I went up through in order to get inside a factory, which was fun and interesting. Skydiving into places is always like a fun approach.
Yeah.
Like one time I got straight to the end of a mission because it was like, get to this guy and he's at the top of his like mansion penthouse. This is the second. I've only taken out 2 like under bosses thus far.
Yeah, two the bosses that I'm not the main boss.
Yeah, I will say I have spent most of my time in the game like equipment hunting just because I'm like, I want these guns and these attachments. And that part is a little annoying. I get it. They can't just give you everything from the start or else it'd be like way easier.
See I think the answer to that question then is just to be like, you start off and it will go after any of these bosses. So it might be harder than for whatever. And if you beat those bosses, you get these things.
Yeah.
You get items. Like, you got them.
What you do.
You fought the main military boy, you get the big LMG. Oh, you fought the sneaky silent person, you get the sniper rifle. Like,
but you do actually get stuff like kind of like that. That's how the exotic weapons work.
Yeah.
Which, like, each exotic weapon is interesting because it gives you... Generally, they all have something on them that you can't get, like customizing your weapon. Like, the first 2 you get, the his/hers AK-47s, like the his AK-47 has a sniper scope, which you can't put a sniper scope on an assault rifle in the game. So it's
the thing I put on almost every Call of Duty game is the 20 times scope on my AK.
But the hers AK-47 has a foregrip, which you can't put on like the regular AK-47, and an 80-round drum, which the biggest one you can get is a 50-round drum, like customizing it yourself. So it's like, for the most part, not only are the looks of these unique weapons like unique, so to speak, but there's also some element to it that you can't get customizing the gun yourself when you find it in the world. One of them, the BFF, is a pistol that I got from one of them is just a completely unique weapon. Like there's not even like a base version of it. It's just its
What's
own
it like?
pistol.
How's it unique?
It's just a like tiny little like stealth, or not like stealth because you can't silence it.
It's like a Derringer?
Yeah, it's like a Derringer. Well, not like a modern Derringer with like a clip.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like that's kind of cool in its own regard, but I'm still using my 1911 because that's my pistol.
Yeah, it's a better pistol.
Yeah.
So like the thing is like that game seems like it has a lot of ideas that didn't get fully fleshed out by the time that game came out. Is how I felt when I played the beta, and I feel like if that game had like either that game didn't just come together or had more time in the pressure cooker, that game could have been a really cool game.
That I can agree to.
Yeah.
Like as much as I like the version of it that I'm playing, it's like I can't help but feel that there was a better version on a chalkboard somewhere in a Ubisoft office. And they spent 3 years making this game, but with how freaking like big it is,
yeah,
to me it feels like a game that needed like 4 to 5 years maybe at minimum.
And
that's like, and like I said, like originally when they pitched it, it was like every drug boss you can take down your own way. Like the first trailer was literally one mission being done 3 different ways. And that's not the way it is in the game. Now it's like this mission, it's like you have to extract this guy, or you have to kill this guy, or whatever. And originally it was like you could, in the trailer they showed, it was like you could kill this guy and just like do the easy snipe him from the rooftop and go away. Or you could go in, sneak in at night, grab him, throw him in the trunk of a car and extract him out of there. Or you could just blow up everything around him and leave him alive because his boss is going to kill him. And it's like, that sounded interesting. Like, it sounded like they were trying to go for a Nemesis system-esque thing.
Yeah.
And then they didn't.
Yeah, and now it's just like a
Yeah.
standard kind of mission routine.
I'm like, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Like, I still have fun with it. The environments are fun and interesting. Like, the world is great. Like, I love the map of Bolivia. It's enormous for starters. So it's like, you're not going to run out of places. And each region does feel unique.
Okay.
Like, even 2 jungly regions to me feel distinctly different.
Alright, that's good.
Yeah, so I'm like, as far as environment goes and level design, like, I don't have much to complain about in that regard. The bases are laid out fun. If you want to go in stealthy, you've got, like, good options and a lot of options. And then, like, if you want to go in guns blazing, some of the most fun moments I've had while playing it, I've been playing solo.
Yeah.
Like, this whole time that I've been playing it. Some of the most fun moments I've had is when I've been caught in the middle of a base and I just like unscrew the silencer and I'm just like running and gunning my way out. And it still feels like fun and reactive. The gunplay feels really good. Character customization's fun. You got a lot of cool, crazy options if you want to like make your guy, you know, the badass mercenary look, you can do that. If you want to just look like a fucking idiot, you can do that too.
Yeah, I did.
My only complaint there was not... Basically, the beta was all of the character customization items was in it.
So like you can't unlock more character stuff?
There's a little bit more in the final game, but only like 5 to 6 more items total across all of it. Yeah. And they already have microtransactions bothered me.
Oh,
There's
good.
already an in-game
start
store with like more cosmetic items, which bothered the shit out of me.
Great, good.
But
I love
it's also a Ubisoft game, so I was expecting it.
Yeah.
As much as I was hoping not to see it, I was like, I know this company. I know I'm not going to get my hope. But overall, I say it's a good game, but not a great game. So I don't regret buying it.
Gotcha. What disappoints me the most probably about that game is I've been playing Ghost Recon since they've pretty much started. I've played a lot of them, and they've always gotten farther and farther away from like that kind of like you have to be stealthy, you have to really pick your enemy stuff. And like even Future Soldier, I think Advanced Warfighter did it well. Like it was like a good modern mix, and then Future Soldier went way too far one way. It seems to just have Ghost Recon in the name and have nothing to do with Ghost Recon anymore. It's like might as well, because I played it single player at the beta, a lot of it, and the only thing I could had it was like you can sync shots. But like, I mean, you can play that game and shoot a bunch of people and just go move on. Like I could play stealthy, but I just didn't. Most times you didn't need to.
I would say it's still better to play stealthy, mainly just because you don't get a lot of health. Like especially, well, if you're playing, I'm playing on not the hardest difficulty, but second hard. I've heard the hardest, they say like 1 bullet can put you down. So that's like if you want to play stealthy and you want it to be the most Ghost Recon experience, play that difficulty.
Yeah, I guess make it so it's super hard in a way to make it like I just feel like it doesn't
that's kind of how
it.
I was gonna say that's kind of how stealth games operated for the longest time. It was literally like you had to be in stealth because as soon as you were in open combat, you were screwed.
Yeah.
And Ghost Recon Wildlands still has an element of that, but not to the same degree. It's like I've been in open gunfights and come out okay.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like I said, good game.
I think marking
Not
enemies
really.
is one of the worst things you can put in a stealth game to my head now. Like, because
Yeah.
you're just like, okay, I know where everyone is. Like at this point, I don't need to be stealthy. I can be like, bop, 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 and just like
And that
move
is
through like know where the 9 enemies are in this area.
and that is one aspect in favor for Ghost Recon as a stealth game is that you can turn off like every aspect of the HUD that you want to, up to and
Gotcha.
including marking enemies.
That's
So
alright.
if you want to not have like marked enemies on the world or on the map, you can turn that feature off to give yourself that challenge.
I've been playing Horizon Zero Dawn. I actually just beat it, and I kind of they have this huge cluttered like HUD system where it's like here's everything you need to know on the HUD at all times. I literally just turned almost everything to dynamic, so it would turn on when I needed to turn on.
Mhm.
Or than that, it would just everything was off, and that game looked way better with all that off. Before we talk about what I've been playing, let's talk about some news that's happening. We got 2 things that I want to talk about. Really, if you have anything you want to talk about, let me know. But let's talk about the PS4 Pro. No, PS4 Pro, the 4.5 update for PS4 and PS4 Pro, but it's bigger for the Pro. It actually makes it where I think a viable system to buy now, and actually like you should maybe get this if it. I'm thinking about getting a PS4 Pro now. Is what I'm saying.
Honestly, yeah. After we did a little bit of preliminary talk about it, and I'm considering the upgrade. I've already got a PS4 right now.
So this is what I've been waiting for. So PS4 4.5, which is just does not roll off the tongue well. Update lets you now have boost mode on the PS4 Pro, which just lets it use the CPU for games now, which is like, oh, what a novel idea.
Yeah, it's almost like a PC does that.
Yeah, it almost lets you use the updated stuff to make it better. So that's pretty much all it does. You have to enable it, go into system setting, enable it. It could mess up some stuff, they said, like just in case like if a game runs weird, just turn it off. But like from what I've heard, I haven't had many people hearing many mess ups, and it just sounds great. Like I have been playing Just Cause. I played Just Cause 3 like 4 months ago. I was playing at the beginning of the year just to, for no literal reason, other than be like, I just want to kind of play Just Cause 3 because I hated this game. I'll see if I still hate it. And the answer was, yeah, I still hate it. And it runs like garbage, which was like, I was really surprised by how much that game ran like just shit. It just runs like dog shit.
It really did.
And then I saw someone playing it with a PS4 Pro boost mode enabled, and it was running smoothly. And I was like, oh, that might make that game good to me again. Well, not good, but like make me feel like I can finish it. So I want to beat it. For some reason, I beat Just Cause 2 like 7 times. I've 100% Just Cause 2 3 times. I love Just Cause 2. I need to beat Just Cause 3 just to feel like I've completed that circle of like, oh, a bad game, Just Cause 1 a bad game, Just Cause 2 a great game, Just Cause 3 a bad game, and like maybe Just Cause 4 will be good, but no, it won't. They're never gonna play another Just Cause game again. Just Cause 3 is bad.
Yeah.
But I want that boost mode sounds like such a good idea. Like I can play Bloodborne on boost mode, maybe get that up to 60 FPS or
Oh
something.
god, yeah. It's like the whole reason I played Dark Souls 3 originally on the PS4 and ended up rebuying it for PC just to play it at 60 frames.
Oh man, it's so good on 60.
Yeah, especially because I bought like I'd never owned Dark Souls 2 and I bought it on a sale on like Steam for I bought like Scholar the First Sin for like $10.
Yeah.
It's great. And then I was playing Dark Souls at 60 frames and I tried to go back and play it at 30. I'm like, I can't.
You can't.
With how fast this game plays, like if you're used to playing it at 60 frames, you can't translate it back to 30.
Once you've had the good fruit, you can't go back to that moldy ass fruit.
Exactly. And I'm like, now the PS4 Pro's out. I'm like, maybe I wasted money. No, actually, it was on sale on Steam for like the same price as with this. It was the game with the season pass on sale for the same price as the season pass on like the PS4. So I was like, I can justify this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you like Dark Souls 2 the most, right?
I like it more than 1.
Yeah.
I
Do you
think
like it
3
less than
is my
3?
favorite.
Oh god damn!
I
I
still
can't
think-
handle all these people.
I still think Dark Souls 2 is a fantastic game. Like,
It
I'm not
is.
disparaging it.
It's amazing.
And I'm not saying it's like, here's 2, my hand is on one side.
My
Here's
hand hits
3,
the wall.
my hand's like way over here. That's not what I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
like, here's 2, here's 3. Like, 3's just a little bit better. Just like
Gotcha.
a little bit concepts like refined. It isn't as much of a boss crawl, which was like, at times was great in Dark Souls 2, and at other times I was like, God damn it, I just fought a boss like 10 seconds ago. Like,
So,
give me a break.
I think it's really funny. Like all what our opinion is on all these stuff. I'll include Demon Souls and Bloodborne in this. Demon Souls, I've never really gotten around to finishing or beat all the way.
I've never touched it. So
Demon
I can't
Souls,
give an
it's
opinion.
crazy. I still think it's either Dark Souls 2 or 1 are my top. And, oh no, Bloodborne's at the top, hands down, number 1. That's like
Really?
there's a wide disparity between Bloodborne
I've
and
only-
everything below it.
I've only played like a few minutes of Bloodborne
You-
that a friend plays,
you
and I
need
enjoyed
to
it.
play
It is a
Bloodborne.
way more aggressive
It
fight
is.
style. In
So
that
like
game.
what?
That's what I've been liking about Neo too. Is
Yeah.
Neo, which isn't made by Steam Souls, but is very much inspired by Dark Souls,
Yeah.
is like that level of aggression that you have to play at.
I think what Bloodborne teaches people is like you don't need to play Dark Souls with a shield. Like it's like you just don't need to. It's fine.
That's true.
And it's the better way to play that game. To play that game with a shield is boring. To play that game only dodging is the most fun way you can play that game. And it teaches people to be like, hey, Like I like heavy armor builds. At Dark Souls 3 broke heavy armor, and I was like, I'm just gonna play without a shield now. And I enjoyed that game.
They've made it better in like recent updates. It's the way poise works in that game is just the worst.
They just updated it, and they said it was broken.
Yeah, poise, the only way that it works now is that, like, it's during certain actions that you get your poise bonus. It's not, like, a constant thing, which I
is
hate.
dumb. Yeah, that's stupid.
I think Dark Souls 2 did poise the best, because 1, poise was just OP.
Yeah.
2 was, like, you still stumble a little bit, but it's like, stumble and I'm back in. There was still a penalty for getting hit. It's like, 1, if you had enough poise, like, if you're wearing Hovel's armor, you just didn't bother you. It's like, you lost health. But, like, your character didn't flinch. You could still do your actions. Dark Souls 2 is like...
super big sword. Yeah, you're like, ugh.
Yeah. And I'm like, it makes sense. I'm still taking an impact. Like, I should still have some penalty for getting hit. And I mean, in a game that's supposed to be hard, like Dark Souls, I expect to be penalized for fucking up. I think Dark Souls 3 just penalized you constantly.
Yeah, Dark Souls 3 just, like... It felt... It's a good game, but I don't know if I liked that game a lot. That game, like, hit my Game of the Year list that year so low that like I still think of like that game doesn't need to be on there all the time.
I still like, and especially going back and playing through it again on like PC at 60 frames, I like fell in love with it a second time.
I'm playing through it again right now because I want to play the DLC when all the DLC gets released. Because all the DLCs they've announced their new DLC, they showed some screenshots for the new one. I just don't remember. I didn't look at any of it. I don't care.
It comes out at the end of March. I think.
End of March, yeah. They already released their other one, Ashes.
Yeah, I played through.
So I'm playing through it again.
I'm at the final boss fight. I haven't beat the boss yet.
So I've been playing it again. I'm at the old Demon King. Below where the giant worms that shoot electricity are. I hate that boss. That boss sucks.
He's an optional, so at least he has that.
Yeah, but he sucks. Like, he's just not a fun fight.
Yeah, that wasn't my favorite fight. It's basically like fighting the giant like demons, the stray demons, but just slightly more powerful.
Well, yeah, and he like shoots meteors down where he has like circle fire that comes at him. And if you're doing an only melee build, you can only like hit him twice and get out, then hit him twice and get out. And then he has
You're talking to a guy who uses the Fume Ultra Greatsword. Like, I'm very aware.
It's so shitty. So the funny part is, like, I fought Bad Dude, the dude who, like, has the Fume Ultra Greatsword, and he's like, I'm the Night Slayer.
Night Slayer sword.
You killed him, like, one try. I just, like, quick, like, blood. So, like, I can, like, it's like, oh, this does more bleed damage. I'm using an Uchi Katana. So, like, it would be, like, 1, 2, 3, and he'd be, like, 500 health down and just died. And I was like, oh, that was easy.
The Uchi Katanas and stuff for the Dex builds.
Yeah.
Like, you get some crazy power.
I have a sharp Uchi Katana instead of my dull one.
Oh, you see, I have a
sharp Fume Greatsword.
No. You can't infuse the Fume Ultra Greatsword.
No, of course not.
But I got it to +5, and it has S-level strength tiering anyway.
That's pretty good.
And it's like, in order to wield it one hand, you have to get your strength up to 50.
Yeah.
And I got my strength up to 50, so it's like, I get 250 damage base with it, plus another like 375 with my strength bonus.
It's a pretty strong sword.
Yeah, it's like, it's slow to swing. It's like, I wouldn't use it in PvP.
Oh, of course.
But like,
well, if you're playing PvP in Dark Souls, like, get out already.
It's fun.
Those people are.
It's an interesting challenge. It's like, if I'm doing that, I switch to the Dark Sword. I've got a heavy gem on the Dark Sword, so that has A level strength tiering.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and I've got 50 strength, so I'm still getting a huge bonus with it.
So it works.
Yeah, plus it's way lighter, so I can wear more armor.
That's true.
That's the thing. I wear heavy armor, but I always keep myself below 75, so I still get fast rolls. Yeah, and I still have a shield that does like 100% block. I basically have that for like, I'm normally dodging, and then I try to parry. I still can't parry well. I'm trying to learn. And then I've got a shield for like, just in case.
I have the grass crush shield on my back, so I have increased stamina regen and just dual wielding the Uchi Katana.
You see, I've got the leaf ring for my stamina.
I have Corinthian ring and the
shield.
Yeah, stamina doesn't go away. I've had a problem with stamina that whole game.
I'm trying to, because mainly the problem is that I use Fume, and Fume takes out half your stamina bar every time you swing it.
Of course.
No, it's great. Me fighting the Nameless King on the PS4, I still haven't gotten to him again on the PC, with Fume. Like, was literally just like, I put my shield on my back. That shit wasn't helping me in this fight. I'm not going to use it. I used the Shield of Want just so I was like, I'll get the extra souls from beating him.
Exactly.
Put it on my back, two-handed my sword, and when I got to the second part where he's just like flying at you, literally I had to wait for him to like jump up and do the like dive down, and I just walked up and I had enough time for one fully charged power attack, and then I'd roll away. Literally, every time I did that though, it took out 1,300 health on him.
Ain't bad.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I had to do that like 7 or 8 times, but once I did it, I was done. But that was an interesting challenge for me. It was almost like I'm like shooting myself in the foot by using Fume in this fight. Yeah. But at the same time, I kind of like to make I like to be able to say I beat him using Fume.
I used the Fume sword. Unironically used Fume.
I love that sword. It's just
Can you
fun as
ironically use the sword the whole way through a game?
shit. Yes.
Okay, well, I mean,
There are the people who use like literally the broken straight sword through the whole game just to say that they beat it.
I know in Dark Souls 1, if you upgrade that to a +10, it becomes like a legendary weapon. You can make it a legendary
that one like
weapon.
actually turns into something. In Dark Souls 2 and 3, it doesn't turn into anything.
Good.
It just stays the broken straight sword.
I mean, I could beat it with a broken. It wouldn't be that hard.
It's like at this point, having beat it, this will be like my 4th time going through it. I'm like, I might want to give that a shot. Just start challenging myself.
I know someone's doing like a level 1 playthrough of it on the
VGHL. Yeah,
someone's trying to do that, which I just sound like it's like to me like if I don't interact with systems in the game or like ignore them, I feel like the game just sucks. Then in my head, like I'm like, oh no, just don't do these things in the game. It'll be better that way. I'm like, well then why even put it in the game? Then just take it out of the game. So I don't like hamstringing myself that much. I like to make it harder by doing everything. Like all right. Play the whole entire game through. Do everything. Like, well, that's difficult. Like I did that for Persona 4 Golden, where it's like, hey, start level 1.
That's like 3 days of your life. Like not like if you were sitting down and just doing it straight.
No, it's more.
Oh, really?
It's way more. It's like 100 hours. Like if it's like, hey, I'm gonna try to max everything out, and like start with nothing and max everything out. That's like I had to set up dates in my head and like planned it out and like worked it and then failed and would like restart and be like, all right, how do I do this actually? And you give yourself like single day. You have to do the dungeon in 1 day, which like we're like that's normal. Like, no, man, it's not. Not in this game. It's really difficult, and I'm really bad at it. So, it's rough. But back to the PS4 hard drive.
Yeah, back to what we were talking about.
So boost mode, great, we like it. And the thing
boost mode makes it like worthwhile, really. Like it makes it do what it was made to do.
Yes, and the second thing that's super important, which I'm finally happy they're adding, which just feels like it's taken forever, is external hard drives. Honestly, so USB 3.0 or later, which is anybody using 2.0s is an idiot. I'll be real here for a second.
Yeah, 3.0 is cheap now.
3.0 cheap. And I already have 4.0, baby. I'm riding that future tech.
I didn't know that was a thing.
I think it is, or I'm going crazy. It's one of those two. It's also 250 gigabyte minimum. You cannot have below 250 gigabytes, but it's 8 terabyte maximum. So you can go pretty high to have some stuff. You can plug in stuff to install.
I would say if you pick up like a 2 terabyte, you're covered.
Yeah, I have a 2 terabyte installed on my PS4 NAT. Like I replaced the hard drive and put a 2 terabyte in.
Which was one thing. Like, well, the Xbox let you do external. They didn't let you replace the internal. So I've always appreciated for PlayStation. It's like you couldn't play off an external, but it was really easy to put in like your own internal.
Yeah, internal was super easy to put in. I still have my old 200, whatever the old system, 500
gigs.
Saved it says PT on it. It's locked away in a box at home, at my actual home, not my apartment home.
RIP PT.
Rip's Konami, Rip Kojima, and Pete Silent Hill. It's dead forever, baby.
No, we still got Death Stranding coming.
Oh no, I meant like Silent Hill in a general sense.
Oh yeah, Silent Hill.
Like Kojima said, he's like, I'm not making another scary game. I don't like being scared. That's literally what he said.
Then what is Death Stranding?
It's gonna be a fucking Metal. It's gonna be a Metal Gear game, dog. It's. Like I think people like I'm not sure, but like
I don't know what the fuck it's gonna be.
I think it's gonna be a stealth action game set in a weird post-apocalyptic world. Like that's my feeling.
Admittedly, that's fine.
Yeah,
it's still Kojima, so it's still gonna be fucking great.
I want to see. I wish he just did something totally different. I would love them see him leave and make the Silent Hills game. Like that would have been like that's what I wanted, and he's not doing it, so I'm already disappointed.
I mean, like I don't know how much of it was Guillermo del Toro's like influence on what went into PT, but like he nailed atmosphere.
That whole that PT is one of the best demos of all time.
Oh, yeah, PT managed to like scare me when nothing was happening.
That was on my game. That was on my game of the year list when it came out. It was PT. It's one of my favorite things that came out. It's one of my favorite horror things ever coming out.
I would say it's like I said,
it's
like,
impressive.
Atmosphere. It just demolishes atmosphere. It's got interesting puzzles too. Like God, that puzzle. But it's like the puzzles there. The atmosphere is just crazy good. I would have loved to have seen what a full game of that would have looked like.
Yeah, then we're never going to see it.
No, we're not.
It's dead forever.
Because Konami is terrible.
Who'd have thought? Konami does it again. Let's talk about Shadow of War. Because we just saw the gameplay demo for that. You just saw it. I saw it a while ago and I watched it again. And that's the only thing I want to talk about is like there's so much news coming out from PAX, and I think it's PAX or GDC this year. I think it's PAX.
I'm sure we're going to be seeing more gameplay soon.
There's Andromeda stuff has been like every other game stuff has been released. I just want to talk about any of that one. I want to talk about Shadow of War because that's this.
Can we just a quick aside?
Sure, go ahead. No,
Andromeda is like the most hush-hush game.
So what I
Considering I feel like we've heard like nothing about it, and it comes out next week.
I wish I did this podcast like a
2
year
weeks.
beforehand or something where some people were like, "What's happening in Andromeda?" And I literally said like a year ago or like 3 months ago. I don't where the fuck I was talking about Andromeda with someone. Probably back before I was in Austin. I was like, yeah, I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna wait, and right before that game comes out, they're just gonna start releasing trailer after trailer, and they're just gonna hit it really hard that month, and that's gonna be the game plan. And I've been right. I feel so justified right now. It's like anytime I'm on Twitter, it's like, damn, Andromeda trailer. Like every time I scroll down on my Twitter, it's, and then like they're hot new trailer. Everyone's playing the multiplayer right now. Check it out. I'm like, I knew this was gonna happen. I feel so justified when I said that. And it feels good.
Admittedly, part of me kind of likes that approach.
I like it. I don't want to hear about a game a year beforehand and like
I
get
don't
burned
want to
down
know.
on it.
I don't want to know the whole thing before it comes out. Like,
Yeah.
I want it to be a surprise. Like, say what you will about Fallout 4 as a game, I thought the marketing for that game was fantastic. They didn't even announce it until like 3 months before it came out.
Yeah, I like the marketing for that. I hate that fucking game, but I like the marketing.
I think it's the best gameplay of the Fallout franchise, but the worst game.
Yeah. Like I think like it's gameplay
It's
matters
like,
so little to me in an RPG
that,
sometimes.
Take that gameplay, put it into Fallout 3.
Yeah.
And I would be
Put it in
so
New Vegas. You're right. The better one.
I don't know. Tonally, I just didn't like New Vegas as much as I liked
What's
3.
New Vegas' tone to you then?
It didn't feel like a post-apocalyptic world half the time.
What are
it
you
felt like-
talking? I'm not having this conversation right now.
No, we're not. Let's get back to Shadow of War. What we came here to discuss.
What this podcast was started for, damn it.
The objective perspective was just a build up to this moment, and it's all downhill from here.
Yeah, it's been downhill from episode 1.
I don't know. You put me on the podcast.
That's true.
That's like a huge.
It's a mess up.
I
It's like
gave you this name.
No, you didn't. First,
this name was named to make fun of me.
that's true. It's also a slight jab at Thomas, going with like, no, the objective look at this.
Yeah, I was gonna. Yeah, on our BJHL podcast, I way overused the word objective for a while.
So me and Joe think it's super funny to make fun of people who say the word objective, and so that's how this podcast was formed, baby, with idiots in mind. But Shadow of Mordor, Shadow of War,
Shadow of More.
We're gonna see some more Shadow of Mordor, and it's gonna be good.
The Shadow series, as we know.
Middle of Earth, Shadow of War, which is a bad name for a game. Starting off with that hot.
It doesn't roll off the tongue very well.
Okay, so Middle of Earth, Shadow of Mordor, bad name too. I'll say it.
Yeah, but it like
Middle of Earth, Shadow of War is like taking a bad name and then stepping back and going, what if we can make it worse? What if we made the good
I
part?
wouldn't say it's worse personally. I'd say it's like the same level as Shadow of Mordor.
See, I like Shadow
if anything,
of Mordor.
it might be slightly above Shadow of Mordor. Just
No.
because Shadow of War is something people
No,
say.
it's like saying
Saying we're in the Shadow of War is like
No.
something people have said.
no bad, Thomas. It's like when someone said Warfighter. It's like going to a Medal of Honor Warfighter. That's a good name because they're fighting wars. No, they're bad names.
I'm the one person on the face of the planet who likes Medal of Honor Warfighter.
I think I'm not gonna even give you a leeway on that one. I don't like that game.
I had a lot of fun with
We're
it.
getting off topic.
I'm sorry. I just thought that game was like pretty solid.
All right.
Anyway.
It's solid. Yeah, you're right. You know, it's and that's why I hate it. It's just a blank slate of a game. Like that's why I don't like it. It's like a bad game interests me more than a game that's nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Fair enough.
That's what I would say about that. That's how I feel about Warfighter, and like that name encapsulates it all. Where it's like, hey, it's Warfighter. Like
And now Shadow of War just gives you that same feel.
That feels just like they didn't know what to call this. They had no idea what to call. They had no good name
Now,
for this.
yeah, I was gonna say I honestly feel like that was like 5 days of them just like in a room, and they were finally like, guys, we gotta pick a fucking name.
Someone's like Shadow of War. And they're like, fine, fuck it, whatever. I'm going home.
Yeah, they're just like fuck it. They like hadn't seen their kids in like weeks. They're just like, I
Good.
just want to get home.
Just call it Shadow of War. The company will be happy.
It's like they needed something that related it enough in title to show that it is a sequel, which
Yeah.
I get. It's like they were kind of stuck with Shadow of Mordor. It's like the name has to relate to that name.
I think if they called it Middle Earth and then anything would have been fine. It's like I think Middle Earth is like the central piece of that. I think people call it Shadow of Mordor, but Middle
Yeah,
Earth
the fact
is
that it's
the title.
Middle Earth instead of Lord of the Rings, which again,
Yeah.
you and I were talking about like wondering how this fits in with the timeline of Lord
Yeah,
of the
man.
Rings, and you were hoping, and honestly, I can agree, because the first one, like, they made it fit, but it felt like they made it fit so hard.
Yeah.
It basically was just like, the reason Sauron didn't come back is because of you.
Yeah.
And that's like all that you contributed to the main plot. At this point, they're like, you're going out into the world, you can go to Osgiliath, you can go to all these other places, and you're just fucking people up, like, fuck it. Make it its own continuity.
Yeah, just
It doesn't
fucking
even,
take
it
as
doesn't even have the words
yeah.
Lord of the Rings in the title,
Yeah,
so
it's
that like
fine.
gives you the opening there.
Yeah,
Be
just-
like, it's not part of the continuity, this is our own thing in this fantasy world. fuck it, let's go.
Yeah, just fuck it. Who cares? Let's make our own story. You already made your own new ring for it. Like, let's just have your own fun with it. But what the gameplay showed this week was like a siege of like a orc stronghold owned by like, so there's like a bunch of territories in the game, and they claimed them. You have to take over an orc stronghold. Looks like at some point, and it's controlled by like an overlord, like the video game Overlord, one of my favorites.
Really?
Overlord's not that bad. It's
I've
alright.
never played it.
It's all right. It's not.
Always a game that I knew existed, but never a game that.
That's
I
about
played.
as much as you need to know about Overlord sometimes. Like that game's good and very bad. The same like word wavelength that just like hits like this is cool and like this is awful. This is garbage. This is what garbage people would make.
You're just kind of like it's like a roller coster ride between great and garbage.
Constantly.
I mean, it was successful enough that it got a sequel.
And that was I remember playing the sequel and going, this game sucks even worse. So, you know, and they released their top-down version, which is also bad, with 4-player co-op game that got released, which was also terrible. So Overlord, a tarnished name, it'll never come back.
But anyway, admittedly, that aspect of it, when it came to like the Nemesis system in the first game, I was always aware that I had this army at a certain point, but it felt like I never really got to use them.
Yeah,
Like,
this seems like where you're going to take all the forces you've gathered and use them. What looks like a creative way of like, this is going to be the gate crasher, and then I'm going to have a guy in there who's sending explosives to blow up a wall to
it's
get
like
people
the
in.
unique aspect of your lieutenants finally becomes more important to the actual game itself.
Instead of
again,
having a unique name, there's like a unique premise behind them. Like, this guy's really good at controlling wargs, and this guy's really good at raiding, and this guy has magic, and you're like, all right.
So that aspect, it's almost like they're bringing in light elements of RTS to the game. And honestly, with a system like the Nemesis system, that felt necessary in the first one. We didn't have it. Like I said, I always was aware I had this army of orcs under my control. I'd run around the world and I'd see all of them with their blue eyes that were mine. But I felt like I never actually got to take advantage of that army. Like, I never used it as an army. And now watching them like lay siege to this fortress and all of the people using their own part, getting his life saved by like one of the people in the trailer, now it feels like I'm using that army. I have an army and it's an army. It's being an army.
It's like constantly like I'm really interested to see how that all plays out. I want to know how that plays itself out, like how they just tried that in a tutorial or something. So they're obviously going to show it in tutorial.
Oh yeah.
But like, so if I fight, he's like a guy, he kills a guy. Let's say he smashes his head in, he falls, and he's like, no, I'm back, actually I cheated death, and I'm going to try to kill you, and then he gets shot by an arrow from your teammate. It all plays out like in a cutscene very quickly. I need to know how that system works, almost to be like, how can I use that?
I'm wondering like how it plays into effect. Like at one point when he was fighting the Overlord, one of his lieutenants like burst through the door and like gave him an opening to kill him, and he made that lieutenant, which now you can promote people in your ranks. Which
to Overlord after you take over an Overlord's position.
Yeah, he promoted the guy who saved his life in that boss fight to Overlord.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering how that works. Can people progress on their own too? Like
Maybe it seemed like when he promoted that guy, other war chiefs were promoted to like war chiefs, like like when he was promoted, other things moved up in the chain. Like it's odd.
So
I want to know how that system works.
Yeah, I'm curious if it's like, now I'm setting this person to manage this fortress, but he can also make his own decisions as to who he puts on his like cable.
I think this is what I like about this game, and what I liked about the Nemesis system in the first one. Like, it got me thinking about what this game could do as like an idea of like, holy shit, there's so much like. We're talking about like this dumb, like, oh, if you put this guy here, would he promote his own men? Or if it's like men that are already underneath him that you got with him, will they move up with him? And like then you can have like this weird sort of army. Like, that's a cool thing to have in a game. I just hope the gameplay part of Shadow of War is better than Shadow of Mordor, because it got so bad at the end.
It was like at the beginning, it was a fun challenge.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I'm doing little Arkham combats. It's easy, but it's still a little challenging.
I'd argue like the midpoint was the perfect point. Because it was like at that point you could do some executions in combat to keep combat moving, but that was also when they started throwing a lot more people at you.
Yeah.
Which felt like good. But by the end it was like I'm surrounded by like 400 guys. By the end, like 100 of them will be in my army because I can just like auto brand them.
Yeah, I'm just auto branding and like you can
I didn't kill anybody by the end of the game. I was just like branding every single person in the fight.
It just gets so easy.
Yeah, and it got too easy. I would say, like, keep me at that, like, mid-level of Shadow of Mordor, where I've got enough powers that fights move quick, and if I'm surrounded by, like, 100 guys, there is still a chance I can win, but where I'm not so powerful that it's not, like, a chance I can win, more like, all right, I already won.
There needs to be way more enemy variety, which is like there's trolls in this game, and, like, bigger orcs and smaller orcs and orcs on horse riding stuff.
Yeah, which I think is going to help.
Yeah, so there just needs to be like more enemy variety always together with enemies. Like instead of just like having like 50 just regular orcs and like one. I'm not the regular orc because like I'll just take care of the other ones and then hit you with an execution. We're fine.
Yeah.
There needs to be a lot of enemy variety together, and there needs to be a lot more like lieutenants you're fighting. It's like they were the ones that like be like, I can't get hurt by arrows, I can't get hurt by stealth. And you're like, okay, guys, I have to fight you in a certain way.
I mean, they did have like a good element of that in the
Original,
gameplay trailer.
I'm just saying,
we watched.
that's
like, you had like 2 lieutenants inside. This looked like it's not like a huge fortress that they had. It was like pretty big, but not like, oh my god,
not
this
sprawling.
is. It wasn't Minas Tirith. It was it was like something smaller than that.
Yeah.
But and so it made sense. There were like 2 lieutenants and then the head boss. My guess would be that there will be bigger. My guess, because we haven't seen that much yet, is that there will be like bigger, more menacing, like huge fortresses with
like, there's
a ton
like
of
fortress
lieutenants
levels.
around.
So like you probably like have like these are the easier fortresses, and you just move up to the stronger ones as you go on.
Yeah.
And so there's 3 lieutenants, but he had one branded on his side. That's the guy who saved his life. That was the cool moment of being like, see, we branded him, so he works for us now, and he's on the inside. He set the explosives, like so. All of it. If you don't have a guy branded, it might be harder to get in. There seems to be things to do in that game which are interesting. All other stuff was boring to me, like executions, combat, whatever.
The combat looked like it was too easy.
So I don't
at times. I don't know if they just played it up, but like literally, Chase and I were talking. They were just like execution.
It had on the left-hand corner of the screen said YB for execution was on since the beginning of the demo started. So I just assumed that he had that on, being like, I already have max combo at all times. The game's combo system was fun, and like and I just hope it be harder, but like with this was just like not gonna execute whatever I want to. I don't want that in that game. I don't want that game to be really. If I want that, just give me an over top view and make that game an RTS. Then, if you want to make it that easy, like I want that game to be hard to play. Just make
Celebrimbar / I forgot the name of the ranger that he's inside of.
Yeah, Aragorn.
Just make him. Yeah. Store brand Aragorn. Just make him a thing. Also, they added like a loot system to it.
Yeah, there's like a Diablo-ass loot system in that game.
Yeah, you like get swords and like armor.
Yeah,
that you have to like pick up and.
I saw armor. I didn't see swords or anything yet. But
I didn't see swords.
I'm going to assume
one of the pre-order bonuses is like which there's pre-order bonuses.
Oh fuck yeah!
Is like
get the regular, get the silver, get that gold edition.
But like the pre-order bonus said, like get the epic sword of whatever.
So cool! I can't wait to pre-order. Yeah, I'm gonna pre-order right away then. I'm gonna hop right out. I was like.
But yeah, so I'm assuming based on that swords are also loot weapons.
Definitely.
If they're gonna do that, part of my hope would also be that they add a few different weapon types, like maybe axes or something, just to add a little more variety.
Yeah, some variety.
It didn't look like it. All I saw was swords in the trailer.
So I mean, now we're just speculating at this point.
Yeah, now we're speculating.
I hope there's some good shit in that game. Like I hope that game's cool. I love the Nemesis system. That Nemesis system should be more things.
It really should. And it looks like they're doing good steps to expand that system. Like they know what system was truly unique to their game and really made it stand out.
They're really fleshing out like an army system to it now. Like all right, so
that's what I'm saying.
So I'm wondering like how
first game's like I built an army, I knew it existed, but I never interacted with it. And this game's like I have an army, I get to fucking use that army.
I'm gonna go fight Sauron now.
Yeah. It's like I'm not just a strong individual with some people on his side. I'm a strong individual leading a fucking strong army.
Yeah, so that looks cool. But let's talk about games I haven't played. So you talked about Wildlands already. Anything else you've been playing recently, by the way? Before I move you on.
Neo, still a little bit.
How is Neo? Let me pick your brain.
As far as like a Souls-esque game that I've played, the only 2 games that I played that weren't like a Souls game or Bloodborne were Lords of the Fallen, because I got it for free, and I played Neo. Lords of the Fallen, it's just like easy Dark Souls.
It's really slow,
too. It's really slow, yeah.
And it's not fun slow, it's just...
And it was weird because I'd heard so many good things about it. Like, people were giving it positive reviews, and then I played it, and I'm like, why is this getting good reviews? Like, this is bad.
Also, there's apparently a shield glitch in that game where you can, like, hit enemies with your shield, like, every second, so you just hold up and it'll hit them, and it'll just kill bosses in a second.
Jesus.
My friend did that. It was crazy.
Neo, on the other hand, is really fun.
And it's getting good reviews.
Yeah, and it deserves them, in my opinion.
Okay.
It's not an open world like Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Dark Souls is like open world, but you're still being guided down a path, more or less. It feels like it's not like, I have this huge map and I can go from any direction.
Dark Souls 3, Dark Souls 2, I feel is more like that. Dark Souls 1, I think that game...
It was more open, but it was still
way more open. Well, I could go to Blighttown at the beginning of that game. I remember playing that game going, I'm going to go to Blighttown first, and would play the game that way.
Yeah, and you can.
It's great.
But Neo is actually levels. Like, you go to an overworld map, and then you go to the level. But, and weirdly enough, it has, tiny. For some reason, like character movement makes me think of Dynasty Warriors sometimes.
That game
It
looked
started-
Dynasty Warriors.
It started as a Dynasty Warriors game too. Like it was
Oh.
just going to be a Dynasty Warriors clone, like so many
Okay.
other things. But then like they changed directions with it entirely. At least that's what I've heard.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's still like a small element in the design of it.
Hey,
there.
that game's been development for a long time.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
It really shows.
But the final game, like, thank you. The final game feels like very polished. The combat's great. Like whenever the stances like actually change things, it's not just like your attacks.
Yeah.
Your dodges change with your stance.
Okay.
There's no shields in the game, but your sword will block 100% of damage when you block. But it takes like so much of your stamina
Gotcha.
that it's like you want to be dodging. You want to be rolling and using all that to your advantage. Countering and whatnot. There's like 3 different types of parries that you can unlock, and they each do something different. It's just fun.
And a lot of weapon variety too. Like,
Yeah.
a huge amount of weapon variety.
You got like all the weapons fall into 5 categories as far
Okay.
as melee goes, but like each one operates very differently, and then each one operates differently depending on your stance.
Gotcha.
So it's like you get a lot of choice with it, and it's very fast paced. It's an extremely aggressive game. Like I'd compare it more to Bloodborne than Dark Souls.
Yeah.
There's no like getting your health back for an attack, but it's like the faster you play and the more aggressive you play, the better you're gonna do.
Gotcha.
But I like it.
Yeah, I want to get that game, but I've been swamped with every other video game that's coming out that I've just been like, I'll put that on the back burner for now. Maybe play it this year, maybe not. But like, I assume if I played that game, it'd probably be my game of the year list. I would have to guess. But so many
It's
good
on mine
games.
for like,
So many good games are coming out.
Oh yeah.
Too many.
I need to pick up Breath of the Wild still.
Speaking of, I've been playing Breath of the Wild. I'll drop on Horizons at the very end. I just want to talk about Horizons. I think that game's fantastic. But so is Breath of the Wild. But I would like to talk about my problems with it first off because
Yeah, because it's like everyone's
everyone's
been
fucking
pulling this game off.
praising
Like,
that
we
game like crazy. And I feel like there are just some problems with it that are inherent to this game. So I hate weapon durability. I hate management systems. I hate inventory management. And this game just is that game all the time. I always have a lot of weapons. It's always like pick up chest, open chest. It's like, this is a sword in here. Your inventory's full. And you're like, all right, let me go in here and drop this weapon I don't need and let me pick this one up. Or it's like, hey, here's a cool shield. This one's better. Okay, I need to take off this shield, go into my inventory, drop shield, pick this off. I pick up the same shield again, go back, walk a little farther away, drop this shield, come back, pick up the nice new shield. And my shield broke. All right, now I'm running out of shield. All right, I gotta pick up this and it just becomes like a game of like, I just want to fucking relax in this world and I can't. I'm constantly picking things up. I'm constantly recycling inventory. But also, it comes with it has a good part to it where like I'm in the game and let's say I'm fighting a guy with a weapon. And I backbab his to break and I hit him and my weapon breaks and he flies away and his weapon drops. So I pick up his weapon and just jump on him with his own weapon. And that's a cool thing that can happen. But like a lot of times, like I'm just like switching weapons out. I'm like, okay, this one has 20 damage. One has 25. Okay, I'll take. Oh no, this is a 2-hander, so I'm gonna put the 2-hander down. I'm gonna take the 20 weapons to one hand. So I like having my shield out. His shield and sword is the best way to play that game if you want to live.
So it's like you have the option to not play it like a classic Zelda game.
Yeah, so
but,
you can-
Like,
so
at
there's
the
like-
end of the day,
There's
sword and shield.
There's
is
like
your best
4
bet.
weapon types, I'll say, pretty much.
Like 2-handed swords.
So it's 2-handed
hammers.
swords. 2-handed swords. No, so 2-handed swords, 2-handed hammers. They play the exact same way. They
Okay.
are the same exact weapon. They're just 2-handed. And there's spears, which are like little jabs, which are my favorites. You can stay really far away and like jab forward. If you charge it, so each one has a charge move. So you can like for like a sword, you just start spinning around doing a cyclone.
As you should.
Yeah, and then
This
as a
is
single,
awesome.
you do the spin slash if you hold it. But if you have a spear, you hold back and then just jump forward and do like a flurry of jabs and like a single forward jab.
Oh, that
It's
sounds
just so
awesome.
dope and it's so good. But like some of the ones have different spells. So like if a boomerang acts like a one-handed sword, you just use a boomerang like a one-handed sword. But you can throw it like a boomerang. It comes
And it
back to you,
comes
and you
back.
have to manually catch it. Like you press A to catch it as it comes back, or an enemy can just grab it out of the air if you're using boomerangs. So it gets like pretty fucking
I
wild.
was gonna say that actually sounds pretty cool.
Also, magic wands are back, and you can just kind of hold them. So, like, I had fire magic wands and would just be in the middle of a grassy field and, like, throw a fireball out. It would catch the field on fire in front of me. And so I'd hit it at me, and then I have to, like, run away because I'm starting to catch on fire. There's a fire, and that guy's screaming on fire, running at me as he's also running into fire. And I'm like, holy fuck, this is a nightmare. It's great. Those things are so much fun, but also, like, I'm climbing for 10 minutes in that game. And, like, that's not fun anymore.
I hear they have like the climbing gear that you can find at some point that like
Apparently, if you
wear
go
it.
to the northeast area in the game, someone told me that's where you can go find it.
Mm.
But like, it's not telling me that. And this game's massive. I played Horizon Zero Dawn, and that game's big. Zelda is giant. It's
Oh, yeah.
like bigger than Horizon by a long stretch. It's bigger than most open world games I feel like I like to play are. Like it feels Skyrim big and like not and I feel like it's better than Skyrim because it feels like the world is fun to be in at all times. Where I'm finding puzzles all around me, even though the puzzles suck.
I would say the climbing aspect probably helps with that too.
Yeah,
like being able to climb everything.
And climbing's kind of cool. Like
The
if, like,
puzzles aren't good.
so the puzzles and the dungeons are cool. Like so there's like dungeons and there's shrine temples. Shrine temples are scattered around the whole world, and they give you spirit orbs you can exchange for health and stamina upgrades. Because you have a stamina system, which is fantastic. I love stamina systems in video games. So you're just climbing, and you're like, and if you jump, it expends a lot of stamina, so you just don't jump. You're just slowly climbing up a mountain, and you're just checking my Twitter phone. I'll literally check my Twitter and be like, well, let's see what's going on here for a bit. I'm just going up a mountain. But I think that it's all right. But
I will say it gave like I played a little bit of it.
yeah.
We played it as our game on VGHL this week, and like just walking around, like it gave me that sense of adventure that I haven't had in a game in a while. Like
Every place feels distinct and cool and unique. Each zone is interesting with ideas that feel fresh to a Zelda game that no other games have pulled off in that Zelda flair. I just wish the weapon system was maybe a little more. I almost wish I could find the Master Sword right away, so I didn't have to switch weapons. Because I just don't want to switch weapons right now.
I would. That was one thing. It's like I heard weapons break really quickly, and just the little bit I played of it, I broke a weapon in like 10 minutes of gameplay.
Yeah.
So I was like, maybe just like release an update that just like at least doubles the durability of weapons, just so it feels like.
See, I don't know if that's the right idea. I think that might just be like not my thing. Is like what I found because I think people will like that system. Like there'll be people who will love that idea of that system. Like I love being in a fight with this one big horseman that was harder than the. So like there's a big. It's like for this. I'm going to spoil some stuff. So if you don't want to hear about Zelda Breath of the Wild, really nothing spoilers. So there's dungeons obviously, and again the dungeon you needed 20 lightning
there
arrows.
has to be 20.
Yeah.
Or there has to be dungeons.
There has to be 20 dungeons, or it's not a Zelda game. No,
No, there has to be like 8.
Yeah, there's 4 that I know of right now. There could be more after that. But so you have to get lightning arrows, which you can just find on the ground. You can just shoot lightning arrows whenever you want to. So it's like, hey, go find lightning
it's not
arrows.
As unique. It's
Yeah.
like the fire ice.
Yeah, so like I have fire ice arrows. Like I just find them in chests. Like, hey, here's 5 ice arrows. Have a
Nice.
good one, man. I'm like, cool, dope. I never use them, but I have them. But it was like, go up here. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm going up here, and they're like, hey, there's gonna be this weird enemy here, this horseman, who's gonna want to fuck you up. Go get the 20 lightning arrows. You can find them if you want to, or just get 20 lightning arrows from the arrow, the trees he shot with lightning arrows. All right, cool, got it. And I fought him, and I had grabbed. You just grab fairies out of the air now. So if you die, you just instantly get revived by fairies. You can just grab them out of the air. So you have like 5 fairies on you at all times. These bottles don't exist in this game anymore.
That's kind of disappointing.
No, it's great. It's like, I'm just gonna pick up everything I want now. Like so, you can have unlimited materials, weapons, and armor, and shields. You have and bows. You have limited. I think actually, you can have unlimited armor. It's weapons, bows, and shields. You can have a limited variety of. Like you can only be like, I can only hold 4 bows. I can only hold 4 shields. I can only hold 4 weapons. And like,
But items and armor, you can.
Items and armor, you can hold as many as you want.
That's good.
I have 4 rows of material. Being like, you have 99 bokoblin horns. And I'm like, dope.
Is there like a crafting system in this game?
Yes. So there's a armor upgrade system. There's a cooking system where you like cook recipes, but you can also put like I'm gonna put 3 frogs and a bokoblin horn in there. It's like you got a speed elixir, my friend. And you're like, dope, cool. And you have to remember your own recipes. There's no recipe cookbook, which I think is a bad idea. But you should
Honestly,
it should tell you what recipes are. Because I'll just forget if I don't play for a few days.
You might even have to like buy a guide just
Yeah.
to have like a recipe.
Or just go online and be like, what's the recipe list for?
Yeah, I was gonna say. I say
what's
buy a
prime
guide.
rib steak?
There has never been a need for a strategy guide
Game
since
facts
like,
again.
Yeah.
Yeah. I fought him, and it was the hardest fight in that game I've ever done. So I was like, I'm gonna fight him. And I went through like 3 fairies and like 3 weapons and a shield and like arrows. And he's like, then I went to the dungeon and fought the dungeon boss, and that was the easiest fight of the game to me almost. Like where I was like, okay, so this game's gonna be like you have to find your own challenges really. Like that guy was a hard fight. He gave me a cool sword and like an arrow, a bow arrow that shoots 3 arrows at one time. So you fire 1 arrow and shoots into 3 arrows, and that made that another boss who's like, he's like, my eyeball is my weakness. And I shot his eyeball, and he fell down, but I shot 3 arrows in his eyeball, so his health goes like, whoop, you just see it close down because there's no like 3 phases to the fight. It's like they have health bars.
So it's like depending on your decisions, things can be really easy or really hard.
Yep, and so
I mean, like there are people
up and
who
down.
just sprint straight to Calamity Ganon and fight him with just like the starter weapons.
Can you do that?
You can.
That's crazy. That's
Current
wild.
speedrunning record is 50 minutes because somebody actually won.
That's mad.
That's the thing. I watched one of my friends. I was like, you can't really do that, right? And he's like, all right. And he was just stopped what he was doing, turned around, and just went straight to Ganon, and it was in the boss fight, fighting Ganon, like trying to beat him. Admittedly, with all the starter weapons, without the Master Sword, like you're kind of fucked. But
yeah, because did the dungeon. They're like, this will help you fight Ganon. We're going to use our magic to help you defeat Ganon. And so I'm like, I assume if I just do all the dungeons and everything, it'll just make Ganon even easier then.
That's the idea, is that like it makes it a level playing field.
Gotcha.
But if you don't want it to be a level playing field, you can just beeline for Ganondorf as soon as you're done with the tutorial.
Yeah.
And like if you fight hard enough, you can win.
Yeah, I think this game is something special though. Like it feels very unique from what this is not. This feels like a different Zelda game, which is a good and bad.
Would you say it still feels like Zelda?
It feels like Zelda, but it feels different than like what Zelda's been. Is what I'm saying.
It's a lot more combat focused, is what I've noticed.
Combat. It's difficult, which is different than what Zelda's ever been before.
I was gonna say, like, I love Twilight Princess, but the combat was never like hard.
The only games that have been hard are like the original Zelda. I think Ocarina of Time is harder than people give it than what it used to be. I think
I have an easy time with it just because I beat it so many times that I can basically just go through the motions at this point.
I beat that game for the first time like a year ago. And like that game's difficult than people will give it out to be. Mostly because like those controls are bad. But besides
I'll say the 3DS made it better.
Made it better, definitely. But those games used to be hard, and this game is difficult. Like I've just been like hit by an enemy once and all my health was gone. I had like 4 hearts and I'm dead. That was it. It was one hit, I'm done. And I was like, that's wild. I've never had a game like just fuck me like that. And that's kind of the best part about that game is like finding like weird shit or like
that it actually is a challenge.
Or like I'm going across a bridge and I look to my right and there's a dragon going underneath the bridge shooting lightning balls at me and I have no idea how that. I've been through that bridge before. I've been in that area before. That dragon was never there in that area before and he was just there. And he just went into the water and disappeared.
That's awesome.
And I'm like, what the fuck is this game?
This is, again, like the sense of adventure.
Yeah, there's
just like
real sense there.
Yeah, it's like just like walking through the starting area. Like I didn't get through the tutorial area while I was playing. Like I just felt like I was on a quest. Like I was in this big, fully realized world, and just like I've got to really explore it.
Yeah, it's super cool how much that game feels like an actual original Zelda game. There's like one thing I don't like are the Korok seed puzzles, which did you do that when you played it?
No.
So they're not even puzzles really. It's like you can pick up and you can pick things up and put things down. So you come across 2 baskets, and then next to 2 statues. One has an apple in it, one doesn't have an apple in it. What would you do?
Put an apple in the other basket.
Oh my god, you figured it out. Here's your Korok seed. Now do that 5 more times for the same puzzle over and over again. That is the puzzle next sometimes.
What do you get from Korok seeds?
You get Korok, so you can upgrade your inventory with Korok seed puzzles.
So you can get more slots.
More weapon slots, more bow and arrows, more shield slots.
Yeah, I was gonna say that feels almost like necessary.
You would have to. You have to. So I found that guy. Remember that Maraca guy? And when you guys were watching that, it's like, I have 2 maracas. Come give me the Korok seeds. He disappeared. And I don't know where he went. And I'm like trying to find him, and I'm like, fuck, I need more weapon slots. I'm gonna go look that up online. There are things I just need to look up for online. I think just like make my life easier. Like I'm not gonna look up where these things are, but I'm like, where does this guy go exactly? I think he went. I'm gonna go kind of backtrace where he went, maybe, and like try to find out exactly this area, like where he could have gone. So I'm not gonna look right away. I'm gonna try to do it in my head a little bit, see if I can find him. If I do, that'll be great. But if not, I'm gonna look it up and be like, give me just more weapon slots, please. Weapon slots, bow and arrow slots, shields. Just give me it all. Give me. It's like the puzzles are like to find. It's like you just find them. So it's like you climb to the top of a tree. There's a rock on there. You pick up the rock, and it's like you found me. Here's a Korok seed, my friend. And you drop the rock, and he's like, wow. And that happens every time I do that. I always press A instead of like I think it's A to throw, but it's R to throw. So I just press A and A just drops it, or B. And he just goes, meow, and like gets hit by it, like a little small, like dumb idiot looking dude. It's so that happens that's happened like 20 times. I laugh every time. I think now.
Can you imagine if instead it just got really graphically violent? Like you dropped it on the little Korok and just like blood shot everywhere.
It's like, it hits the ground. And he disappears with the rock, and you're like sitting there, and just blood just slowly pools out. You like come back, and the blood has never left, and just keeps pooling into a river, and you're like, ah!
You pick it up, and there's just like mangled like corpse, and like.
With a whole bunch of Korok seeds fall out, and you sort of just start killing them all then.
Just like Zelda decides to get really, really dark for no reason. It's like the rest of the game is just like a regular, like bright, fun adventure.
Yeah.
But if you just happen to drop this rock on this Korok, it's just like... The Koroks are like the little wood guys.
This game's pretty dark comparatively to other Zelda games, too. Like, the story itself is like...
It's like the world already ended.
Well, the world already ended, and like people have died, and you're like talking to them, and they're like spirits, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm dead. Like I'm gonna be able to do this, and I'm gonna go away forever. I hope my father like loves me still." The end of that story. And you're like, Jesus, what the fuck?
I mean, Twilight Princess had aspects of that.
So Twilight Princess was dark, but I don't think it like played to its darkness well enough. Like it's dark in some areas, but then you have Zan who comes out, and you're like, "Oh, he's creepy," and he's actually just a laughing dude who's a big joke, and you're like, "This guy sucks." Never mind. But I do want to finish these points before you interrupt me, Thomas.
Sorry.
It's fine.
I love Twilight.
I know you love Twilight Princess, and I don't, and I don't like Zelda games that much. In general, the voice acting is terrible. Voice acting in this game is terrible. There's voice
That's
acting.
what I've heard.
It's.
A lot of people were just peeved by the idea that there was voice acting.
I don't give a shit about voice acting. I
mean, I'm a little peeved by that just because it's been like, if they hadn't done it before this point, like, why start now?
I think it's super good at it at this point. Like, I feel like it gives that another breath of like, this is a new kind of experience for Zelda.
True.
This voice acting is garbage.
What?
It's garbage. It's just like, bad. It's rolling my eyes bad, and like it doesn't sound right half the time. And people just talk in these very monotone ways like this. Link, you have to come get me and help fight Ganon. And
I'm assuming you also can't name your own hero.
No,
anymore.
you're Link.
Yeah,
you are
which is
just
fine
Link.
because I always use the name Link anyway, just because it felt right. But
and he's he's already a character in this series. Like it's like you come out. So like the plot of this game is pretty much like you were in a like reconstruction chamber for 100 years. You lost your memory, but you're still Link, and you are the hero of time. But you lost the fight 100 years ago, and you're gonna have to go do the fight again. That's the idea.
Yeah, and I like that
is
a dark
start
for Zelda, and that is interesting. Like you're in Hyrule, but Hyrule is like been wiped off the map.
Yeah, and everyone who's like in that fight 100 years ago died pretty much. And like there are people who would be like, "Oh, Link, you're that Link from 100 years ago? You mean you used to play as kids?" But like you don't look that different. What happened? You're like, "I don't know. I don't have memories." And you're like, "Oh, yeah, my daughter loved you, Link. Don't you remember?" And you're like, "No, I don't."
So do like Hylians just live a really long time?
No, Hylians don't.
Oh,
like they're
saying like you're people who remember. Oh, it's like the ghosts.
There's like no, like Zora. There's like Zora's lived past 100 years. They're fine.
Oh, okay.
So I talked to Zora. They're like, "Oh yeah, we used to play as a kid. When I was a kid, Link, and you were a kid. You don't look different. What happened?" Like they're weirded out by you not
having not aged over the course of 100 years.
Yeah, in real life, no one knows like because no one knows like.
I feel like they'd already be weirded out enough by the fact that you're alive.
Yeah, I think they all think like, "Oh, he's fine, whatever. No one knows what happened to you." And then you're like, "Oh, I got put in a reconstruction chamber. It's good." The game's strange, but I'm enjoying it. But a game that I surprisingly liked way more than I thought I would is Horizon Zero Dawn. That came out, and
that was like off my radar more or less. Like I liked the art style of it.
You should buy that game.
You think
I think you would like that game more than I like that game, and I like that game a lot.
I was gonna say like the art style really interested me, but for me that was like that really got to me when I was looking at it.
So the first part of that game I think is not a hot start off the press. But like once you get past like the tutorial zone, there's like a little more you have to get past where it's like kind of introducing you stuff still. And it's like you get past this gated area, you fight a corruptor, and where the enemy like they're called corruptors. You fight it, it's like, hey, go on. The rest of the world like really opens up to you. That game's main story stuff is straight up the best story I've had this year of stories. Really? It's so clean. It's so good.
It's just well written.
It's just well written. It's the guy who did New Vegas. One of the New Vegas writers is on there, which is great to have that guy on doing things. But it's really good. It's really smart sci-fi. It's really fun sci-fi. Has a lot of different characters.
That's something we've been lacking. I like dark sci-fi like as much as the next guy, but sometimes I'm like I need a little breath of positivity or just at least like interest and fun.
It's super fun and like I actually want to know how this happened, and the way it's explained is like very sci-fi, very like future sci-fi, like maybe even a little too fantastical, but it's really well explained and like well done and explained why this is all still happening. I think one part isn't explained real well, but they're leaving that open for like sequel bait, kind of like they like I think the whole story itself is told.
That they leave open, but like it feels.
The story feels complete. Like when that game finished, if they didn't make another game for this, I'd be fine. Like I'd be like, okay.
It's like they have the opening to potentially make another one. So it's like if I see Horizon Zero Dawn 2, I'm not going to be mad.
Yeah.
But if I never see another Horizon game,
there's going to be Horizon Zero Dawn 2 is like in the works. I'm guessing right now. Like
Horizon Zero Dawn was an economic success, so it'd be stupid of them not to.
And it's a fucking cool. So like when I talk about combat, like Zelda Breath of the Wild combat is interesting, but at the same time, it's not. It's pretty boring in some areas. Like I'm breaking weapons, I'm going through them, but it's like I'm pressing Y, jump back, Y. I try to get a flurry attack in, do a jump attack, do a thing. It's all right, but something special. Horizon Zero Dawn, if you're not fighting the little enemies and you're going for like, and you're not fighting humans, you're fighting like the bigger robots. That game is the most fun I've had with that combat stuff. It's so much fun. You're like, all right, I need to take off these things directly to affect how these things come off. And then if I'm taking those off, I can do this right afterwards. Unless you make all these combos for enemies yourself, like I'm from the guy who goes underground, so I'm gonna take off.
You have to like switch up your combat style based on each.
And there's a whole bunch of weapon choice. So it's like I have your regular bow and arrow, which I never took off. But then I have like a long shot bow and arrow, which gave me. But also if you so they're like they start off as like regular weapons, and you get green versions of them, then blue, then purple. I think it's green, blue, purple. That's what happens. Okay. And you have to buy them. You don't just find them on the ground, or you get them through quests. And like green's like, all right, you can shoot an arrow. And it's like, all right, so now you have the blue version, you can shoot an arrow and then a fire arrow. And you have the purple, you can shoot an arrow, a fire arrow and a stronger arrow. And like, oh, I have my long shot bow. Okay, so you can shoot a super strong long shot arrow or arrow that blows off enemy parts. That's all it can do, or a part that retracts parts from them. Okay, then you have another weapon. You have 4, so you have one that just ties enemies down. That's all it can do. It just gets stronger each time you upgrade it. And my last one was like, this one shoots ice, corrupting ammo, and like I think electricity ammo. And then like that's like all the weapons. It's like other ones are like this one just shoots like 20 arrows really quickly.
Just all bows? Like just
all kind of bow stuff, yeah. Or you have like a slingshot that fires like fire, or you have a tripwire. I didn't use a tripwire, but a tripwire was really good. Or like a slingshot, or like a rattler, which is like a shotgun style bow and arrow that like just shoots like electricity, fire, and like regular bows. And like you have all this variety. Each of those things I've used, all of them came in handy in different ways when fighting these enemies. And you want to switch it up, yeah. And you'd want because like there's a flying guy. I'm not going to use the fucking tripwire on the flying enemy, but I could also set a tripwire down and then just grapple it to the ground, so it's going to slam into the tripwire and blow itself up.
That's
like,
awesome.
Like that game is cool.
Like it just forces you to think outside the box.
It doesn't. I think like it doesn't force you to think. It's like hey, think outside the box. It's not forcing you. It's just like hey, here's all these ways to think outside the box. Yeah,
it gives you all the tools.
Yeah, it gives you the tools
like
so quickly too. Like it's like hey, you want to buy this, buy this, buy this, buy. Just buy everything. Like it gives you so much money. It gives you so much like way to upgrade your crafting systems. I think having to upgrade your like carrying capacity is a little limited. Like I have to get a boar skin, so you're gonna shoot like 50 boars till you get a boar skin. Like it's like you have to shoot a bunch of boars.
Like World of Warcraft.
A little annoying on that part. But like I just love the ability of like I'm gonna shoot a lob grenade that's gonna go off at a certain time and like hit his jetpack so he falls to the ground and blows himself up pretty much.
It does sound like a shit ton of fun.
It's so much fun. I think this game got like really highly rated, and then Zelda came out and got kind of dropped. I'm not like saying it's a bad thing. I just think this game's really good, and the story was just like it's slow start, and I think a very slow middle half. Like not middle, like the second 6 of that game is like just a little too slow for its own good. Then it just starts picking up pace. And the side quests,
it picks up,
yeah, it's really good. And the side quests are the best I've had in an open world game in such a long time. Of like, not like they're boring. Like the mission structure isn't that cool. It's just like, hey, you're gonna hold down your like vision sense, track, and you're just gonna be like, hey, here's some footsteps here, track them. That's every single mission in the game, by the way. You follow the footsteps and you get into a fight. That's how this whole every single mission is that.
I can't critique it that much because Ghost Recon is good. Somebody kidnap somebody or blow somebody up.
But like the way, but everything around that system is good. Like the story parts around it are good. Like every side quest has cutscenes that are good cutscenes that are like interesting.
Good voice acting.
Good voice, great. Terrible lip sync, great voice acting. Lip sync can be off by like literally seconds of someone talking.
Okay, I will say when it comes to like lip sync, I can't read lips. I just never have been able to.
Yeah.
So like I won't notice if the lips don't quite match up to what they're saying. As long as it's like close.
It's a bad dub almost of Japanese anime. That's how bad it can be sometimes. Like where someone's like, and then they're talking. Like it's like I can't show it because we're on a podcast, but like mouth is moving, no words are coming out. Mouth closes, words are starting to come out.
Oh,
like it can be really, really bad.
The rest of the game around it is good.
Oh, it's fucking fantastic, yeah. And like the combat itself, the combat itself is fun, especially when you get farther in, when you just get so many options.
And it looks really pretty. Like if we want to talk about aesthetics,
we're talking about a great looking game. It's one of the best looking games this year.
It looks really good. Like not just like fidelity, but like the art style is interesting.
Yeah,
it's like this weird mix of prehistoric and the future, but it works. Like you get it.
It's super.
It doesn't feel like it clashes.
It doesn't feel like people have been using like they even throw around in their game like they're going back to a savager way or it's primitive or it's like dumb and like it doesn't feel like I think they even got their own thing wrong. It doesn't feel primitive. It feels like the future mixed with like old world technology. Like it doesn't feel primitive in any way. It's like I'm shooting a bow and arrow that shoots into the ground and drags enemies down too. Like I don't have that now.
It's a society of people who knew something better. Or at least
or figured out how to like figure or like we're able to like get in this new world and craft things from it. Like because like that like these robots aren't in the future. We know how to use these robots to hunt them now. Like and it's really cool to fight them and like each enemy has like a weakness to them. Like oh there's a blaze canister on each monster almost. Hit it with an arrow, it explodes. Got it, but that's not gonna kill it. How do I kill it better and faster each way? It gets so much fun. I fucking love that game right now.
We're going to pick it up then.
I would really recommend trying that. And that game, unless you don't do like everything in it, like I beeline through the main story near the end. I was like, I want to finish this up. I'm gonna start writing a review for it or whatever. I'm gonna kind of beeline it. Like I beeline it pretty quickly, but like there was like just a list of side quests I could have done, a list of errands I could have done. Like there's just so much in that game to do, and I think the side quests were overall outstanding each time you did them. I didn't have like they're all the same, which sucks. It's always like what's happening here, track footsteps, end up in a fight, and resolve, and that's how every single one's gonna play out. which I feel like that could use much more variety, which brings down a lot in my book. But the story all around them are great and fun. I think the story itself was just like blew me away how much I was into it, and how much I liked it, and how much and it's also just so diverse in cast and characters. Like all the side quest characters are fun and interesting. Like Nil became one of my favorite characters of like this year, hands down. Like he's like a sociopathic bandit hunter, and he's just crazy and loves it, and he's great. Lance Reddick is in it, which I love. I love Lance Reddick, and no one knows who that is. It's fine. He's a supporting actor for like a bunch of movies and TV shows. He's never been in his own thing. He's always like a really great supporting actor. He's in it. This game, like, he comes in like almost halfway through and just like fucking steals the show as like a great technologist. It's so good. I'm so happy.
Damn.
I was so happy having Lance Reddick in something again. I love Lance Reddick so much. I'm watching Bosch because he's in this. I need to watch this TV show called Bosch, which is a detective show, which is it's a noir ass detective show, which is just like, which means this guy doesn't have any special powers. He's not the best detective in the world. He just does police work, and he gets his shit kicked out of him, and he kicks the shit out of other people. And that's the whole show. That's all it is.
That sounds
so great. It's so slow paced. It's just like, we're going to send the scene for like 5 minutes. Like, you think the scene should wrap up? It's not going to wrap up. Fuck you.
So it's like old-timey noir movie pace.
Yeah. It's just super slow, and it's just like...
I mean, like, when done right, it's really great. Like,
if you have Amazon Prime, it's free. So
I've got Amazon Prime.
I would check out Bosch.
Is it an Amazon Prime, original thing?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It has Lance Reddick in it, baby. It's great. You'll know who Lance Reddick is once you see him, I think, too.
I feel like I probably will, but I'm not recognizing the name.
Yeah, no one recognizes. He's one of my favorite supporting actors of all time right now. He's just so good at being a supporting actor. I want to see him.
He makes other people shine.
Yeah, he legitimately is like the guy who like shows up for like 5 minutes in a 40-minute episode, or like 10 minutes in a 40-minute episode, and is just fantastic. And like that's him, and he gets nominated almost every few years as a supporting actor for like Grammys and stuff.
Good for him.
Yeah, he's great. I love him. But I think that's all of it. Unless you have anything else you want to talk about.
Not really.
Then I think we're going to call it. This has been Chase Weaver.
And this has been Thomas Weitzel.
And this has been The Objective Perspective. I've never done that outro, by the way. I don't think we ever... I would just say bye, usually.
Okay, well then. Bye.
I was doing so good. Been a long time since I felt this way. But you cracked that shell. Only time will tell, so I'll wash my hands of it. That mess of presence makes me nervous. And I don't deserve this. What could I do? You didn't ask for this, so I'll wash my hands of it. I was doing so